This week is Wellbeing Week and looking at mental health and thinking about how we can encourage ourselves to do things to help our mental health. The theme is nature, and a lot of people found during the pandemic that nature was a way of escapism and kind of getting back in touch with the things that we have around us. So, the first thing that I would suggest that you do for this is to go and do a nature walk. Go to a local park, even just walking around your garden if you have access to one, or going to a nearby um, public footpath and picking up objects that you notice that are interesting. So, from going on walks with my own children, I found this, which is really beautiful stick, but it's also great as a catapult. I found this leaf in my garden, which is actually quite interesting just from the patterns that are on there. Some shells when we've been to beaches, some special rocks which have got beautiful kind of gems that we found on a walk. So these are things that we found when we've done our nature walks, and they can be used as inspiration for doing another part of well-being, which is doing some drawing. When you're doing a drawing or any piece of art, you are meditating on that one thing. So you're stopping all of that thoughts about anything else. You're just able to focus on that one item or one image. So I've got an arrangement of different objects here, and I've also picked up a lovely tulip from my garden. So the first thing that I want everyone to do, because I know there might be some people that feel like they can't draw, it's not about that. It's about just kind of enjoying this process of connecting with nature and looking really carefully at all the beautiful things that you can see within that. So if you first of all start with a pencil, got a pencil here, and you can do some things where you're literally just drawing around. This is just going to help build up your confidence with just kind of getting the shaping. So I can start off by drawing around my shell. Like so. So this is going to help you guys build up your confidence with just the kind of shaping. If you want to have a go at drawing it freehand, then you can do that, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then you can look and notice all the details. So all the details of the lines coming down into this one point, and also this kind of like edge that we've got, which is slightly curved, coming up. And the little dots and things that you can see on the shell, any kind of marks. And then they should almost work with these lines coming back down to this thinner tip. Everything I'm doing is quite lightly. So just to give you an idea of pressure, if I were to press really hard, it would be like that. If I take the pressure off, I'm getting a mid-tone. And if I take the pressure off, I get a lighter tone. So that's just something to bear in mind when we're doing our drawing, is that you want to have a relatively light tone and holding the pencil about halfway up rather than down here. It gives you a bit more movement in the wrist. So you could do this with any item that you find on your nature walk. I could do it with my stick as well. I could draw around my stick, or you could have a go at drawing it freehand. When you've looked at the details, and you can start to think about other things that we notice. So I can see some different types of dots. So I can put some mark making in some of these areas. I can see that there's some darker kind of shading around here. So I can just start to put, and these are little lines. There's some more as they're coming further out. And all I'm thinking about is the shape of the shell. I need to keep making sure that I look at the shell as I'm drawing this. I can then start to put in other details that I can see sort of around the side of the shell here. So there's some darker patches, and there's also some little kind of whelks or different growths on top of the shell. So I can add in those bits of details. And I can put in some of this block colour that I can see, so sort of a block area here. So looking really carefully at all the details that you can see. There's some little kind of yellow white bits there. So looking carefully in what you notice, and you can apply this approach to each item. Now, if you didn't want to draw around the outside of it and you wanted to make it bigger, then you could simplify the shape into a circular shape. So I can sort of do this very loose sketch, and I can bring it down to this kind of point here. And everything you can do is quite loose, and you can use your rubber, your eraser, to develop the shape, and then notice that it's crimped around the edge. You can use your other hand to help guide you with where the shape of the shell is going. And then you can apply the same process. So actually I'm just going to make this, because I can see as I'm looking that that needs to become sort of further down a little bit into this area. And it's okay to modify and review and change as you go. And then I can start to do exactly the same processes that I started over there. So I can start to add in these marks that I can see. Get those a bit darker. And repeat that same process. And the thing is about doing it bigger is I can see that there's behind each bit that is raised, there's also a darker edge. So that's kind of almost a little bit easier for me to now kind of work with, because I've got a bit more space rather than working on a very small scale. So that's the benefit of, first of all, having a go at drawing it freehand, but also because you can then enlarge your drawing. So I'm doing it quite quickly. So I'm just putting in these shadows. So I'm doing a bit of cross hatching there, which is where the lines, you can do this effect to create it, to make it darker and lighter. So once you've drawn your object, hopefully you're starting to feel a bit calmer. From doing that, you've just been able to focus just on the intricate details. And that's why doing some art as part of this wellbeing week is really helpful. So going for a nature walk, picking up some different items, and then I've got some different sessions to show you. So this one is with pencil, and I'm going to show you how to also do a drawing with a biro and a fine liner.